So let's make fun of Democrats. Wanna? I want to make fun of some Democrats. Okay, so they like genocide, obviously. And Jerry Nadler here, he decided that he is going to tweet out that I will proudly vote against Marjorie Taylor Greene's brutally anti-Israel amendment, which seeks to eliminate funding for Iron Dome and other joint U.S.-Israel missile defense programs critical to Israel's fundamental security. I have long supported such funding, and it has been crucial to defending innocent Israeli civilians, especially in existential attacks against Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Let's be clear. The only amendment coming to the floor in the DoD funding bill that cuts funds for Israel security, including programs like the Iron Dome, is being offered by a Republican, not a Democrat. And he says that like that's somehow like a good thing.
Well, I mean, there's a swath of people that are like, they're going to flip whichever way Israel goes, no matter what. That's why I always say October 7th is the day woke died. Because even a bunch of like liberal BLM, people, oh, I guess I'm white too, it turns out. That's when it's split right then and there.
Yeah.
And I remember Marjorie Taylor Greene was the one they said, she never said this, by the way, I looked up, but the Jewish space lasers, remember they accused her? Which I was like, somebody else called Star Wars that too?
They still bring that up, the Jewish space laser thing. It's so stupid. But this guy is a total
mishandled the franchise.
Yeah, this guy's a schmuck. And listen, I have my issues with this AIPAC tracker account because they gave Bernie Sanders a 100% on Palestine. I mean, let's be real.
Kind of money, they're just tracking money, correct?
Yeah, they just track who takes AIPAC money.
And
but
Bernie didn't take any?
No, not directly, but there, you know how that goes. It's not like they just do direct donations. For example, I think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had accepted money from Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi accepts money from AIPAC. So there's a lot of like backdoor ways that they can. But the idea that that they are giving Bernie Sanders a 100%. I think they gave Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez like a 86 or something like that percent on Israel and Palestine. That's just absurd. It's crazy.
Because she cried when she signed the funding to the.
She just did it again, Kurt. We're going to talk about it. But I don't think she cried this time, but she is, and I didn't have time to get it because I just saw it right before we went live. But she is on Twitter freaking out because people are calling her out about it because it's embarrassing. But obviously, Nadler's post got some pushback. Medea Benjamin said, "Yes, we noticed that because most of you, both Dems and Republicans, are in the pocket of AIPAC. Yeah, that's a problem."
Well, she's anti-Semitic too. I don't care if she has an obviously Jewish last name.
Yeah, she's obviously anti-Semitic. This is my pal Jules. Fuck Israel and fuck you. You're starving, sniping, and bombing a captive population with the money you can use to feed your own citizens. Fucking scumbag. That's like really an understatement. I appreciate her passion though. But yeah, this is what makes me angry is everybody's we're all just fine with sending more money to Israel.
What are you gonna do about it? I mean, no, I'm not fine. A lot of people aren't fine with it, but guess what? You have literally no say.
Well, there are a lot of people who are fine with it though. That's the problem. Is like the Jerry Nadlers of the world, and there's a bunch of people on both sides of the non-existent aisle who are just fine with funding Israel and for their security.
Well, they're just actors. I mean, they don't do. They're all there. They don't read a bill that they sign. None of them read anything. They have a bunch of gay assistants that do all the little kind of work. I don't know. What do they bang in that room and do blow? And I don't know what else. I don't know what they do besides that. I'm not even saying that as a joke. That's things we know they do in there.
Yeah.
So same deal with right now NATO and Ukraine. That to disengage from this like horrific new world order, it's just you're not going to vote your way out of it. You have to like not participate in it. And I don't know. And I just tell people like maybe stop being a liar and stop, joining your team.
Yeah.
And then they do that thing where they go, "Are you still loyal to Trump?" He's supposed to be loyal to me, not me to him. Of course I'm not. They work for me. I thought this counts when you vote.
Well, that's what you just nailed it though. You can't vote your way out of this. None of them work for you. None of them give two shits about you. They don't care what you think, what you want, what you need. They do not care. And they're all really both so-called sides are serving the same agenda. And I say this all the time. The only difference between the two major parties is the demographics to which they pander to. That's it. Yeah. The Democrats pander to the LGBTQ and the feminists and all of that stuff, and the Republicans pander to it's all just a charade.
Well, they screwed up as they're taking the last of everything and squeezing down middle class to nothing. That big middle class of normies that don't know anything about anything, that's your true Iron Dome. And since you're not feeding into that now, a lot of people are annoyed and like, hey, how come I don't got what I need? And now they're going to look at this and start noticing there's a problem.
Yeah.
That's why nobody noticed for 20 years before I understood anything about this, at least. I didn't want to know. Why would I want to know? But sooner or later, it's just going to hit you in the face, unless you're being paid to not know. That's that's a guy paid not to know anything. A lot of actors.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, Jimmy says it all the time. There are people who their job is dependent on them not knowing. You know what I mean? Like they're very comfortable with not knowing because it means that they can continue the gravy train. So, I mean, you're right. The more and more that they do this, and these are just like my friends from Twitter that and a lot of them are kind of new to coming around to this stuff. I think a lot of people are. And if you go ahead and resign a disgrace, he's not going to do that. He's making a whole hell of a lot of money. But here's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Marjorie
Where's
Taylor
he
Greene.
rep? I'm sorry. Where's Jerry Nadler the rep of?
Oh,
is it Florida or no?
You asked me. I don't think so. You asked me
because it's probably a demographic of like rich Zionist donors, I would guess, like that fat one down in Florida,
Manhattan.
Oh yeah, so there you go. He doesn't have to.
Course.
Not going to resign.
No, he's not. He's safe. And of course, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also in New York. And she says that Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment does nothing to cut off offensive aid to Israel, nor end the flow of U.S. munitions being used in Gaza. Of course, I voted against it. What it does do is cut off defensive Iron Dome capacities while allowing the actual bombs killing Palestinians to continue. I have long stated that I do not believe that adding to the death count of innocent victims to this war is constructive to its end. That is a simple and clear difference of opinion that has long been established. I remain focused on cutting the flow of U.S. munitions that are being used to perpetuate the genocide in Gaza. Since when, Kurt, has she been focused on that?
I bet it says rate proposed community notes. So I bet there was a flood of community notes.
Yes.
On that one. That was my guess.
Yes, there is. And people went hard at her in the responses because this is obvious crap. And I responded to her. I was very harsh, though, so I did not add that. I don't think I added it in here. Maybe I did. But Aaron said, if you recognize that Israel is committing a genocide, which, by the way, she literally does, perpetuate the genocide in Gaza, right there, the last sentence. She literally admits that it is a genocide, and Aaron calls her out. If you recognize that Israel is committing a genocide, why are you voting in favor of giving it $500 million for anything? For anything. They're committing a genocide. They get nothing. That should be basic.
Really nothing, because it's another country and your taxes should be going to your country. I mean, hey, let's leave this little genocide thing out of it. Why nitpick? Why are we giving them anything? I still don't understand. We didn't have a concentration camps here, right? That was like German. Why are we required? Because somehow it helps us so much. I'm not seeing the help we get from it.
We get zero help, and they have healthcare, and they have
we pay for their healthcare.
We pay for Israeli healthcare. We don't get it for ourselves.
Oh, and Ukraine. Don't forget Ukraine. Their pensions, the remaining surviving people, the surviving old people who haven't been shipped to the front. We pay for that.
Yes,
and conservatives dingbats here will go, oh, it doesn't work. It works real good in them countries where we got to pay for it, don't it?
Yes, it does. And Caitlin Johnstone, who I adore, said, I didn't give the mass shooter guns and ammunition. I just bought him a bulletproof vest so nobody could stop the massacre. And that's a very good analogy, Caitlin. I love that.
Because bulletproof vests are not effective to certain calibers, much like the Iron Dome is not going to stop an Iranian hypersonic missile. It's not. We don't have those. I personally think we have stuff that's way worse than nukes, but I think we have a gap in the hypersonic. I know we have a gap there because they just now, this last year, they're like, we're starting to have our first hypersonic missile. Because the stuff that we have that's really advanced, you can't tell nobody you got it.
Yeah.
You just use it. So Iran accused us of using weather weapons on them. We used them in Vietnam. We probably have worse stuff, but we can't openly use it, and we have a gap there. And they made missiles that could go through all our stupid missile defense. It's going to make it because we outsourced everything. We don't have the meta metals that we have to outsource our weapon capabilities to countries that are our adversaries for some reason. And then like, hey, could you make us anyway? Iron Dome doesn't even work that well. So I mean, it's a waste of money all the way around.
Yeah. Yes, and it just pisses me off that we give them I think we give them like $3.8 billion a year anyway, just every year we just give them $3.8 billion. That's beyond my ability to comprehend. Yeah, on the books. Thank you.
Yes. Money off the Epstein child trafficking thing.
Right.
Since it's a worldwide thing, you think that would pay for a lot of it.
You would think, but it does not, apparently. So this I thought was funny from Wyatt Reed. Protect kids in Gaza, protect the Iron Dome. Yeah. She's really a piece of work.
This one.
Yeah. The new establishment. And yes, question everything. Can't say we weren't warned. Yes, we were warned. I mean, and I think that this is what annoys me so much about, and I get crap regularly for calling out Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It has slowed down tremendously over the past year or so, thanks to herself.
Is anyone that new guy, I forget his name, something Krav Maga, the socialist of mayor candidate of New York that everybody flips out about?
Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah, that's the next turn. Just so you know, because I know there's people out there that think I saw Russell and Keaton in there being a little positive about him, but I'm like, I know. Can't get through this immediately.
Russell and Keaton still do electoral politics. I love my guys. Do not get me wrong.
This is what's going to break them. I predict watching this guy be. My girl said when we saw the guy, he looks just her energy coming off.
He is AOC. He is 100% AOC. He is very clearly manufactured. He's prepackaged. He's obviously been given PR courses and all of that stuff, just like she had. He's got the plucky outsider. Yes, 100%. And
politicians are not supposed to be getting younger and hotter. That's really strange. And I as soon as you see a telegenic ones coming out more and more that are younger, it makes no sense to me. Like I don't get it at all. I'm not saying I like the old senile ones, but
it's a demographic capture. They're just trying to capture a certain demographic to pull them into the electoral system. They want to get you roped into the electoral process, despite the fact that it's corrupt from front to back, top to bottom. There is no saving it. But they want to rope in those kids and get them, invested into it so that that's how they pull you in. And then once you're in, it's like sunk cost fallacy. It's like you just keep voting. And if they flick the crumbs of crumbs in your general direction every couple years, you're probably going to stick around for a while.
They're not even giving that out no more. They don't even give you that no more.
They don't really.
By the time you're old, like I'm 48, by the time you figure out it's bullshit, there's a new generation of suckers being born for this that are going to roll their eyes at you when you explain to them that things they like are fake.
Yes. I'm 43, so I get it 100%. And this, my friend Primo Radical, yes. Primo is excellent. Everybody go follow Primo Radical. He is excellent. He's one of my favorite people on Twitter.
What the dress used to say, tax the rich, right? Or eat the rich?
No, I think it was just tax the rich. I don't think she would go hardcore enough to be eat the rich.
But it's like a white dress with red. It looked like she got a period and a message on her dress. Gross.
Yeah, that whole dress thing was ridiculous because she claimed it was like made by an immigrant. It really just ended up being like some Canadian or something. Like,
well, that counts, but
immigrated from Canada. Like,
was the journey too hard for you?
Yeah, kind of.
You and David Frum had the same fraught, perilous journey to America to have too much of it.
Yeah, ridiculous. Okay, so there you have it. The Democrats are fully on board for genocide. No surprise there. They have been for a long time.
Republicans are, Democrats are. The only people that aren't for it are people that are just now figuring it out. Most of the MAGA bait, it makes me mad watching YouTube things. Like, well, MAGA worlds, they want to put everybody in this box with a label on it so they can just say that everybody does the same thing. But people don't. People have real problems that aren't being helped. And they're not going to fall for it over and over, even if you throw a label and then threaten them with taking their label away. That's what they do now.
Well, Trump's even doing it. And but I think that what we need to focus on in that regard is that unlike Democrats, at least in my experience, some of the MAGA base is willing to criticize Trump. And have been very vocally critical of him in recent weeks. I mean, very big name people have come out and been very vocally critical. And that's something, Democrats don't do that. Democrats still do the Obama tan suit bullshit. Like that's the only controversy that happened under Obama was a tan suit. It's completely delusional.
Wait, what was that?
You don't remember that? He wore a tan suit to a press conference and everybody freaked out because he didn't wear black or blue. And they like to pretend like that's the only controversy from Obama's 8 years of presidency.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember that.
Oh, I should pull it up.
I remember Fast and Furious being a bit controversial, and I remember the Libya thing. But I don't remember.
I remember him bombing funerals in Yemen, and doing the Flint, Michigan, the sipping of the water, and we tortured some folks, and Standing Rock, and I mean we could go on and on and on. I remember lots of things. The tan suit. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah. The tan suit controversy. Where is it? Where did it go? There we go. This is Wikipedia. I just pulled it up because it was the first thing that came up. But yeah, here you go, Kurt. The tan suit controversy on August 28th, 2014. He had 2 press conferences in which he discussed blah, 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 blah. He wore a tan suit. You can see there in the picture. That's the suit. Everybody, well, not everybody, but mostly Republicans freaked out because he wore a tan suit. It was very,
I don't believe don't believe that is I mean, I know they're always trying to find a stupid thing to attack, but that is such a non-issue of a thing
it was manufactured for sure.
Yeah. Like, it's like, come on, we're going to be mad about your tan suit. And
it was one of those shiny object things that they did where they're like, hey, look over here. Obama wore a tan suit.
Yeah, it's like remarkably stupid. Like,
yes. But Democrats will still, to this day, swear up and down that the only controversy that ever happened during Barack Obama's presidency was that he wore a tan suit the one time.
Remember the thing that supposedly people were mad that AOC danced in a video at college, and they acted like that was and nobody was making a controversy of that. Like that,
no,
literally no one cared, and went through the press.
No.
You can start to see this AstroTurf crap over and over again now when you look back at every single thing.
Well, they do this constantly, and we're actually gonna when we have Carrie on here, she should be coming any minute. She did a great article talking about the 5 things that you probably missed while the Epstein stuff was going on over the past week or so. Because, I mean, the Epstein stuff is obviously noteworthy, but so many people spend so much time and energy and effort on it, and it's just. There's a lot going on behind the scenes and kind of underneath the surface.
Not dropping that. I think not dropping Epstein, because just, this Epstein thing comes up every like 7 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
This exact thing keeps coming up every 7 to 10 years. So that's more important than voting right now. Never letting go of that. Because right now there's an opportunity where people that were voted for Trump are like, hey, I thought there were going to be arrests in the International Pedo Network.
Yeah, there's never
Mark Dutroux, Diddy got off. All those things. In 2009, this stuff came out about all these people. They're all connected, and everybody needs to never let go of it. Because the way Trump was like, what, you're still talking about that? Because he doesn't want to rat out the thing. But that's what has to go down, or government's worthless. If they don't get these people out, then there's no point in voting or anything, because it's worthless. You've got pederast, insane child traffickers funding all of the world, and they're open about that. Bustamante creep from the CIA goes, he tells stories about how to get child porn for somebody because it's a dangerous world. You got to do what you got to do. You know what? That's not really acceptable to me, and I want to know how in the hell our scumbag government even handed you that to hand to somebody.
Yeah.
So
there is no amount of child sex abuse that is ever going to be acceptable or justifiable. Sorry, my guy. It's just not a thing. And the fact that Trump
historically, it's more than acceptable.
I get it. I get it.
You seem kind of puritanical right now to people who run Intel.
I am a little bit of a Puritan when it comes to, child abuse.
I know. People call me a real boomer about it, that I don't think it's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Trump coming out and not literally, but I hate when people use literally when it's not literally, and I just did it. But to come out and just spit in the faces of his supporters, pretending like this is a non-issue, like it's no big deal. Dude, my guy, you've been talking about it for years. JD Vance went on Theo Vaughn's show and is like, yeah, we need to release the Epstein files. Pam Bondi's like, they're on my desk. And then he's like, you guys are still talking about this? Yes. Well, it's a child sex trafficking ring, you asshat. Yes, we're still talking
about it. If it harms Israel, look, the bottom line is, it's not because Trump did stuff with kids. It's because Israel runs all of it. It's because we could never. Israel's got it's back to the wall right now. Okay, they can't handle a scandal like that where you reveal that Epstein worked for them. They just can't handle. Even though we all know it,
Yeah.
That's why, because precious, and every one of those idiots, you heard how they talked about Israel. Kash Patel sounded like an imbecile. Dan Bongino, it was bizarre. What are your passions? Israel, defending Israel. What? Why do you live in this country then, dipshit? Go over there and help.
Yeah.
So that's why he can't. And not only that, all the CIA and all the European scumbags. That the Mark Dutroux thing's connected to it. Whitey Webb has a great series of books showing you how it works. The whole system will come down. So Trump is trying to preserve, but I thought we wanted this system torn down, and that was the danger to them of Trump coming in. But no, he's going to try to make a deal between the pedos and normals.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It is unreal.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in Oxnard, California, Rutherford, New Jersey, New York, Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.